I'd almost forgotten what Chef can do with a steak.
Hello everyone, this is Steak. Today I want to do my top 10 episodes of Star Trek's original series. I probably have some episodes in here where you might say, wait, what? My taste is a bit weird sometimes. Let's start. Number 10 is Amok Time. I mostly like this episode because there are so many great moments between Spock and Kirk. That amazing friendship is always a highlight for me. When Spock tells Kirk what's wrong with him, when Spock realizes that Kirk is alive in the end, when Spock vouches for his friends on Vulcan, that's all good stuff. This whole Pon-farr thing, well, it's certainly interesting, but I still don't get why Vulcans, given how serious this is, would wait with doing something about it until it's there. Mark it in your calendar and take a vacation in time. Is that so hard? Number 9 is The Ultimate Computer. The funny thing with this episode is that despite knowing right from the start that giving control over to a computer is a bad idea and you can see the catastrophe coming from a mile away, it's still interesting to watch. The fight between the ships is cool, especially in the new version. I also love that Dr. Daystrom is mentioned so many times in later shows. So yes, as a sucker for continuity, I like this episode for establishing that name. A nice Kirk versus computer episode that just works for me. Number 8 is Court Martial. I see you looking at me, eyebrow raised, asking what this one is in your top 10. Yep. Again, I love the loyalty Spock demonstrates for Kirk. His remark about the hammer being dropped on a planet with gravity, that you don't need to see it fall to know that it has fallen. I like that very much. I find the explanation for what happened pretty decent, and as goofy as McCoy might look with that instrument muting the heartbeat, I still like that. I just enjoy watching this episode a lot. Number 7 is City on the Edge of Forever. I guess here I don't need to justify why I like it. Pretty much everything in this episode is good. Edith Keeler saying to Spock that he belongs at Kirk's side is very nice, and Kirk once again being a real hero, making a very tough decision. No further explanation needed. Number 6 is I Mutt. And this one is fun, and fun. That little performance Kirk and the others give to confuse the androids is hilarious. The scenes between Kirk and Harry Mudd are great. So yeah, really primitive reason why I enjoy this episode. It makes me laugh. Number 5 is Shore Leave. This one is not just a lot of fun. I am always fascinated to learn about the normal daily life of these people in the future. I wish there was a way we could just see an ordinary day of some random person on Earth. I would love to see what that looks like. And this episode tells us a little bit about it. People in the 23rd century still know Alice in Wonderland. That little fight Kirk has with his old friend tells us that cadets at the academy still prank each other. Sulu playing with that gun shows that even if that might be very outdated, he still knows how to use it. And that airplane, that night on the horse, that might not exist on Earth right now, but people are still thinking about that stuff. I appreciate that kind of thing. And sure, the episode is, in addition to that, also a lot of fun. Number 4 is The Man Trap. I have a soft spot for this episode I can't really explain. The episode is not great in any way, but I still like to watch it a lot. I guess one thing is the alien. I really appreciate aliens that are really alien. And despite the fact that the surprise is spoiled very early on, I mean, we know almost from the start that there is a shapeshifter on the loose, but we still have to wait until the end to see what it really looks like. So yeah, I don't really have a logical explanation why I enjoy this episode. I just do. Number 3 is Mirror Mirror. I always like the Mirror Universe stories. There's something fascinating about seeing the familiar characters acting so differently. And it demonstrates the ability of Kirk and his crew to quickly adapt to these very weird circumstances and find a solution. I always like when our heroes demonstrate real skill. It's a lot of fun to watch. Number 2 is The Trouble with Tribbles. I guess no one is going to argue with me about how great this episode is, how much fun it is. I admit I have a soft spot for things that are round and fluffy. Therefore, I can't look at a Tribble without going, "Oh my god, how cute!" The bar scenes with Cyrano Jones are hilarious. The fight with subsequent dressing down by Kirk makes me grin every time. The bridge being full of Tribbles, including Kirk sitting down on one, and then the poor guy later being buried in Tribbles. The episode is just gold. And number 1 is The Devil in the Dark. This episode is just so absolutely Star Trek. I love that it's scary, I love the Horda. It's rare that we get aliens that are so alien. It's a shame that we never got to see the Horda again. Well, at least not in canon. I also love Kirk in this episode. The way he remains totally cool when he faces the Horda for the first time is great. Bones patching her up with concrete is epic. This episode perfectly demonstrates what Star Trek is all about. For as long as I can think, this has always been my favorite from TOS. So that was my personal top 10 episodes from TOS. There are of course a lot more great episodes. It was harder to choose the 10 I like most than I thought it would be. This was Steak. Thank you all for listening and see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye, Harry. Have fun.